Thomas walked into the med unit of the ship he had recently joined. They wanted to do a general evaluation, basically a routine checkup. Thomas readied a small folder in his bag for when the inevitable happened. "Ah, Thomas, please have a seat," Pliskin, a large lion-looking humanoid, said, gesturing to a seat in his examination room. "I'll just change the settings to human and we can begin," he said, baring his teeth in what Thomas assumed was an approximation of a human smile. "Sure thing, I've got a file with my medical history explained," Thomas explained as he reached into his bag to retrieve the bundle of documents, only to stop when Pliskin held up a claw to stop him. "That won't be necessary. The scanner can identify issues even your primitive race can't identify," Pliskin said, with another attempt at a smile. Thomas just held his tongue. It was still a prevalent opinion held among the Alliance members that humans weren't worth the oxygen scrubbers used. "Okay, hold still and don't panic. They're just shiny lights," Pliskin said, with a tone doctors reserve for infants. Thomas resisted the urge to rebuff his insulting attitude. The machine shot out several visible lights as it began to sweep his body, obviously scanning him. This was something Thomas struggled to understand. It seemed more like a movie to make the beams visible with various tools. Human doctors could do that without needing to be so showy. He half suspected that was why they used this, make a big song and dance about it to primitive races. "Okay, the scan is complete," Pliskin said, as the display he was holding pinged and began to whirl with the results. "So, healthy as a horse, eh, Doc?" Thomas said, repressing a smile, when half of what must be showing. Most amusing at this moment was the big lion man somehow was going deathly pale. "So many diseases," he muttered, as he thought he steadily moved out of Thomas's reach. "Knew it, I'm the healthiest one here," Thomas grinned, standing and approaching the now scrambling lion man. "Stay back!" Pliskin squealed in terror. "Okay, so tell me, Doc, what's your scanner say?" Thomas asked, focusing his gaze on the now cornered doctor. "You have traces of countless viruses and diseases. If we didn't know your race was so primitive, I suggest you're a biological weapon," Pliskin said, looking back at Thomas. "Oh, which ones?" Thomas asked curiously. Pliskin only flicked his display onto the larger screen. Reading through it, Thomas couldn't see where the fear-inducing ones were. "I only see the usual stuff and the remnants of vaccines," Thomas said, giving the list a read. "Usual stuff?" Pliskin repeated, in a higher octave. "Yeah, chickenpox, common cold, a tetanus shot here and the usual childhood vaccines," Thomas explained, pointing to each corresponding disease. "These are common illnesses?" Pliskin said in growing shock. "Yes, back where I'm from, there are a lot of worse ones," Thomas said with a shrug, as he reached to retrieve his medical history bundle. "Okay, what about these genetic anomalies?" Pliskin asked as he flicked a new list onto the screen. Pausing his retrieval, Thomas walked up to the display. One moment," Thomas said, as he took out his glasses and put them on to read the smallest script clearer. "Well, this one is bad eyesight, got that from my mum's side of the family," he said, pointing to one item. "Ah, this one isn't fun," he said, pointing to another. "What does it do?" Pliskin asked him, what was quickly becoming morbid fascination. "Leaves me in agony most of the day," Thomas said with a shrug. "Agony?" Pliskin repeated, confused. "Lots of pain, but, you know, yeah," Thomas finished with a shrug. "You have a medical condition that leaves you in constant pain, and you seem apathetic?" Pliskin asked, trying to get some handle on this anomaly his years of medical experience could not prepare him for. "Genetic condition, not much can be done but endure it," Thomas replied with another shrug, as he continued reading through the list. Pliskin, though, had a look about him that suggested he suspected the human to be exaggerating. After all, humans were from a backwater primitive world. Holding out a headband, he offered it to Thomas. "This is a sensory unifier band. It'll allow me to experience your issues myself. It'll allow me to identify specific ailments," Pliskin said, as he near threw the band at Thomas, not wanting to get near him still. "Huh? Oh, sure," Thomas agreed, putting it on his head. Pliskin placed his own band on his head so he could experience the sensations of Thomas. Thomas watched this all unfold and began to panic as he shouted for a nurse to help. The moment he activated the device, Pliskin started screaming before his eyes rolled back in his head and he collapsed unconscious. After a few minutes and hasty use of smelling salts, Pliskin awoke and looked even more terrified. "You endured that much? That could kill any other race!" Pliskin roared, very much resembling his corresponding earthy species. "Well, you get used to it," Thomas shrugged, not really understanding the issue. A few aches and pains and having an early onset of arthritis wasn't fun, but it wasn't much to cry about. "Doctor, did you not read the pamphlet for humans?" the rather frustrated nurse asked. Pliskin just mumbled something before meeting the baleful glare of the nurse. "I skimmed the cover," he fully admitted. "They are primitive, so it couldn't be that relevant," he added defensively. "Sir, humans are from a class called Deathworld," the nurse explained. Thomas, watching this, had learned something new and very metal. He would have to spread the word on his death metal band comms boards.
But that means he could outsurvive everyone on this ship,
Pliskin screeched, pointing at Thomas, who seemed mystified.
That is the case, sir. He was told just to give you his medical records and get your rubber stamp. Did you not read the memo?
The nurse asked pointedly at Pliskin. To drive the final nail in, Thomas took out the bundle of documents he'd been asked to provide and gave a toothy grin of his own.